Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us. Well, we're tracking a very large area of high pressure which is coming in from Australia. In fact, it's giving Hobart and Melbourne potentially their warmest November run on record, and their records go back to the 1800s, and this same high is also producing some very warm weather in New Zealand over the next couple of days. But I guess the main theme from this incoming high pressure belt is that New Zealand's in for daytime downpours, and they're going to basically dominate the weather around the country for the next week here in New Zealand. But here is the animated wind map for Wednesday. The centre of the high in the middle of the Tasman, well, the southern Tasman, halfway between Tasmania and New Zealand. There is a cool easterly for the eastern side of Australia. It is nowhere near as hot as it usually is in some of these areas, but this airflow coming down is the reason why Melbourne and Hobart there, which are shaded in red, experiencing this heat wave. And that airflow, even though it's coming down towards the Southern Ocean, it is wrapped around this high. So we're going to see parts of New Zealand getting somewhere between 24 and 29 degrees over the next couple of days, mostly inland, places like central Otago and King Country in the north. Those are the highest candidates for some hot weather here. All right, this is how it looks though on the Thursday wind map. Not much going on. That big high perfectly parked over the country. However, you see these downpours here. They're going to trigger along those ranges around central Otago, South Canterbury area into the afternoon on Thursday. They could be quite heavy. There's a chance of hail, there's a chance of thunder as well amongst it all. And that is actually the theme for the next 7 days ahead. These afternoon, or what we call daytime downpours, which pop up as we head in towards summer. You need a bit of humidity in the air, the right kind of high pressure system in charge, and you end up with these downpours. So this is what happens on Friday. The big perfect high that you saw the day before now has a puncture in it. There's a small area of low pressure just where the air is sinking. So that's going to produce more of these downpours. So on Thursday they were just around that central Otago, maybe South Canterbury area, but on Friday it extends further along the coastline and maybe even popping up around Central Plateau. Now and towards the weekend, Saturday, the downpour risk pretty much runs the whole way along that eastern side of mountains, which end up being western mountains in the South Island. So the main fault line, if you like, that's where the downpours are most likely on Saturday. Dry, calm everywhere else. And then we get to Sunday, and again, downpours are popping up here and there, but the winds are still mostly light around both islands. And into next week, no real change. This is Monday next week. You can see the high is drifting to the east, but the high still kind of holds on for a couple of days. So we are not done yet with this high. It is with us right through next week, but at some point it will weaken. We think there'll be something from Australia which will break this all apart. But for now, the rest of November looks mostly dry, but these downpours are still significant because they're going to be popping up just about every day, and some of them, as we saw just the last couple of days, can produce localized surface flooding and even funnel clouds and hail. So this is well worth keeping an eye on. I can tell you that weather forecasters around New Zealand are going to be very busy tracking this weather over the next several days, but for many coastal places it might just be fairly average kind of weather, but it should still be warm for most of you. That is all from me for today. We'll update you again on Thursday with the latest.